Good night.
Good night.
In the wake of the changes that have swept and indeed are still sweeping across Europe, the Labour Party, like other parties, is having to rethink its foreign and defence policies. Is it succeeding? Well, tomorrow Jonathan Dimbleby puts Labour's Foreign Secretary Gerald Kaufman on the record to find out, and that's on BBC One at 1 o'clock. We on 2 now are taking a weather view with Suzanne Charlton.
Good evening. We've had some really changeable weather around this week, mainly brought about by a succession of really quite intense low pressure systems which have moved up close to the northwest corner of the country, and they've spread at times mild, cloudy and windy weather with them, and then at other times we've had some respite and a change to brighter and showery weather. Well, in fact, very intense depression moved up close to the northwest on Tuesday, began to get a little bit exciting when we thought we'd broken a record. But when we checked carefully, the instruments did seem to be a little bit in error up at the butt of Lewis, so Fraserburgh still holds the record for the strongest gust, 130 miles per hour. That was back in February of 1989. That low pressure area, the same one though, did continue to move eastwards close to the northern coastline of Scotland. And it did manage to set a record, a local one up at Fair Isle, where there was a gust to 125 miles per hour early in the morning on Wednesday. It also made for some very uncomfortable, fairly dangerous conditions in the northern part of the North Sea. There, some of the oil rigs and support vessels were recording 60 to 75 miles per hour winds and 40-foot waves just to go along with it too. Well, this week it's almost begun to look almost spring-like. Well, felt it anyway as far as the temperature's concerned. As you can see, 3 or 4 degrees above average virtually right across the country. With those depressions in the northwest, it means southwest parts of Scotland have had well above average rainfall, whereas on the sheltered eastern side of the country, well, there generally we've had fairly dry conditions, and that's borne out by the daily extremes over this week as well. Moving on then to today, yet again another very mild day. It looks like St Ives has been the warmest place, around 13 degrees Celsius this afternoon, and many other areas, as you can see here, are 4 or even 5 degrees above average for this time of year, so the mild spell certainly continues. With it, it's brought a good deal of cloud as well, some of it fairly low. It's been flooding in from the southwesterly direction on the southwest winds, already causing some fog patches around some southwestern coasts and up over the hills too. During this evening, still a few clearer spells around at times over the eastern side of Scotland and down the eastern coastline of England as well. But gradually that thicker cloud bringing some little bits of rain and drizzle with it, continuing to push its way right across the country. So a cloudy night, that cloud acting like a blanket, so a very mild night as well, right across the whole country. Here's tomorrow's chart. Still those southwesterly winds pulling up that warm, moist air, that weather front not set to come in until much later in the day. As you can see here, there will be some patchy rain around during the day, and then that turning rather more persistent and heavy in the west later on, and accompanied too by strong winds, as shown by those tightly packed isobars. Not only that, but another very mild day to come again, with temperatures well up above average. That's all from me.
A new 6-part documentary series about the power of money begins tomorrow on BBC2.
The value of Tokyo metropolitan area is as much as you would buy the entire United States.
What effect has the money decade of the 1980s had on us all? The Midas Touch explores how money has changed people and attitudes round the world.
£1 million any more?
If you eliminate predators in business and just create comfortable bureaucracies and monopolies with no predators, you will have a dead industry.
They are clever, they are professional, and they are totally destructive of an economic base.
The rich seem not to care. I'm poverty. This is poverty.
They don't want to write a check for $5.95. They want to write a check for 10 million, 50 million.
Has money become a world religion? The Midas Touch begins tomorrow at 8:40 on BBC2.
BBC One's Waterfront Beat is about to engage in more of its high-tech and cost-efficient policing, hunting sheep rustlers and even the odd jet ski rider who terrorises the dockland tourists. Yeah, on 2 in 50 minutes, the return for a new series of Saturday Night Clive, when Clive James will be welcoming Zsa Zsa Gabor. First, from Martinique, by way of Paris, one of the rhythms of the world.